Hey, hello everyone, it's Asia, founder of Multidimensional You, and I am back on my Friday Facebook Live. For those of you who've been following these lives for a while, you know that about a month ago, even a month and a half ago, I was guided by my own higher guidance to switch to, rather than talking about concepts, to go into action mode. But today I'm going to do a little bit of a hybrid. Because it's been a while. I just went through a major set of activations myself, another expansion. I was in France for a little over 2 weeks over the spring equinox, did major multidimensional work there. So there's a lot has been happening in the ethers and in the physical. Hey Betsy, thanks for joining us today. So I'll just give you a quick update on that and frame up today's meditation and what we will be focusing on. So I'll try to be really succinct. A lot of the work that I was called to do has shown me my particular role on the planet even more as kind of a multidimensional engineer, putting back in place, removing infrastructure that is obsolete and that may be harmful or consciousness contracting, and putting in place infrastructure that can facilitate access to higher consciousness in the very same way that we build bridges in the physical dimension. The other thing I want to mention, and I'm planting this seed with many of you, just as in clearings we can remove certain implants and, again, harmful programs intended to keep people in a state of fear and disconnection, we can also put implants in that are beneficial. So I don't want to get too much into that right now. I could give you some details, but I want to begin planting seeds for this group. You're a very powerful group, each one of you individually, that engage with these meditations. So experiment with your abilities, from healing to clearing to putting into place multidimensional infrastructure and devices, if you will, to transmute fear and distortion and bring humanity back into a much more aware, multidimensional consciousness that, in the end game, what's the point? To facilitate a much greater sense of well-being. So when we can heal ourselves, when we can experience life from this standpoint, pain and suffering diminishes greatly. So the setup for today, we have a few things. I pulled a few cards. I know that the Hathors have shown up for us before, but they definitely are supporting this work here today. So I'm just going to hold that up as kind of an activation. And I'll go ahead and read what the card says. This is from the beautiful deck by Alessandra Gioli. If you look into our eyes, you shall fall into another world, another place. We are from another universe. We are here to bring you the threads to another reality. We have been with humanity for some time now. We come to you in those times that you may know as Atlantis in ancient Egypt. This is where many of you worked with us as temple initiates. We are all one. We come to you now once again to remind you of the brilliance that you are. You are limitless beings. You are truly without form, without boundary. We are here to remind you of the love, heart, and incredible energy that you are. We would like you to remember what it was like for you to be limitless while being on Earth. So this is what we mean about revolutionizing what it means to be human. It doesn't mean about not becoming human. It means redefining how we experience our humanity. There are earlier times in your Earth history that have been lost and forgotten. Within those times are keys to who you truly are now. You came upon the Earth as a star being where you were large and full of multi-talents. Back then, the Earth was in the higher realms and density on this planet was not as it is now. So this sets me up perfectly to frame up our meditation for today. We will be working on moving out of polarity back into integrity or integration and balance, neutrality at the individual level. And then we'll see where we are guided beyond that. So I was guided after all of this work I did over the equinox in France to an understanding and some material that helped me understand the basic template that we have been working with for eons in this corner of the multiverse. And that is that there's polarity. There's negative and positive polarity. Negative polarity is service to self. Positive is service to others. We can certainly be out of balance on either ends of those spectrums. So the one breaks into the two, and then to attempt to resolve this conflict, we're all searching to come back into integration. Now, most of you who are drawn to me are out of balance on the positive polarity, meaning you always put others first. You have a wounded healer archetype that you're ready to integrate. You tend to have a victimization, right? Whereas we know the negative polarity, those folks are playing in a different sandbox, and their work is different. It includes becoming more vulnerable and bringing down walls, etc. So this is really important that we all move into greater neutrality and balance. That's the end of the binary or the polarity conflict, and we then move into unity consciousness. So we have a lot of amazing allies and helpers on this quest, if you want to think of it that way. We each have to do our own individual work around this. So this is why shadow work is so important right now. This is why fears are coming up for integration. Really embrace your shadow work at this time. We're all being moved into the next level of integration. So that always means more is going to surface for us. Okay, so I queued up our meditation. Let's go ahead and dive right in so that we have enough time. So go ahead and close your eyes. Focus on the breath, breathing in and out through the nose with a closed mouth. Dropping your focus down into your heart chakra as you do so. And I'm beginning to create the container to support all of you in this meditation, whether you are doing it live with me now or at a point in the future. So allow yourself to feel supported and held. You are here in service, but ultimately the work for this group is to come back into a balance. So a focus on the self is most appropriate. Feel the energies of the Ascended Master, Mary Magdalene, coming in, as well as Yeshua, to provide the beautiful balance and harmony. An example of what this balance feels like. Coming to you as equals, meant to be co-teachers, divine masculine and feminine in perfect balance in each individual, and as a pair with genders male and female. As they move into your field, feel your crown chakra opening. Feel the realignment begin to take place. Feel a tremendous amount of unconditional love flooding your field. As you move your focus down to your root chakra and you send your grounding cord into the crystalline core or heart of Gaia. Plugging yourself back in, allowing her tremendous supportive frequencies to travel up your grounding cord, spiraling up through all the chakras and your beautiful pillar of light that runs through your field, your Sushumna. Setting the intention that you are clearing all of that out, sending all distortion, negative thought forms up into your pillar of light, back to source for transmutation, back to the one. For this is the work at hand, coming back into the one. Integration out of duality and polarity, back into the one. Allow the Ascended Masters to assist you as you come back out of polarity, resetting your electromagnetic template and all of the various programs that run within it. This realignment is beginning to turn off or deactivate certain programs that served polarity but do not serve unity. Allow them to fall away. This realignment is reactivating unity consciousness within your field, helping you to stand now in your power, severing all scarcity and poverty contracts, all vows of poverty, all vows of service to others and self-sacrifice, releasing all martyr programs, all patriarchal programs. Feel the tremendous amount of energy that's now able to run through your field as you come back into realignment, creating a much more clear conduit channel, and it is strengthening. The realignment back into unity and neutrality, out of polarity, continues. For many of you, what is being presented are the higher selves of many of your connections and loved ones, allowing and presenting you with an opportunity to practice the art of compassion and forgiveness. As each of these beings presents in your realigned state of neutrality and integration, grant the forgiveness and set yourselves free. Transmuting all of those entanglements and lower, denser energy and thought forms that have been holding you back from expressing your truest, most expansive self. Holding grudges and not being able to forgive, you see, is another form of staying in polarity. Allow all of that to be cleaned up in your field now, sending all of those fragments back up into your Sushumna, your pillar of light, back to source. As the Ascended Masters come closer into your field now, handing you a mirror and granting you permission to forgive yourself now. The most important act of forgiveness is self-forgiveness. Take a moment to bring all of that out of polarity as well. Feel the energy in your heart chakra as you reconsolidate all of these fragments, for you are practicing the art of self-forgiveness beyond this lifetime. As that releases, feel the next influx of powerful frequencies. Your channel has just grown another octave out exponentially. Reconnect now to your grounding cord and your connection with Gaia, and allow all of her love, gratitude, and support to come up through that grounding cord into your field. Feel her gratitude for you taking the time to come back into this realigned state of unity consciousness. For each individual that moves out of polarity back into the one is another step forward, creating a much easier access point for the human collective to do the same, without conscious effort, we must add. The heavy lifting, so to speak, that you are doing, the conscious efforting, is creating pathways for so many others who do not and will not have this context. Focusing here on the heart chakra. See the star tetrahedron as it begins to gently spin. Each pyramid spinning in a different direction. This is your Merkaba, your interdimensional travel gear or infrastructure. Watch as the star tetrahedron grows in size to the size of your body, moving in perfect spin and balance. There is no polarity here. There is only unity. When the two come back into integration, they function in a way that is complementary. And take a moment to notice how you feel as compared to when you began this realignment back towards the one. Take this realigned state now and picture a shape in front of you. It could be intricate sacred geometry or a very simple shape such as a triangle, square, or circle. And take the codes for this realigned state, this impression of this realigned state that you have just arrived at, and place it in this shape now. And then place this shape in the palm of your right hand, encoding and imprinting it in your right hand. You have now just equipped yourself with a piece of multidimensional infrastructure that will allow you to reprogram the field around you. When you're working with others, when you're working with loved ones, or when you're just simply intending for the entire planet to receive this imprinted template and code, you may send it forth now from the palm of the right hand. Feel that. Choose someone or the entire human collective, and with palm outstretched, send it to them now. And feel the energy coming out of that palm. Feel the activation in your upper chakras as you can feel the transmission coming through your field. And when you feel complete, come back into gentle breathing in and out through the nose. Come back into the heart chakra. And here in the heart chakra, take a moment to receive a little bit more multidimensional infrastructure coming from my field now. Coming from my field is an imprint of infrastructure that connects you to 6 different star civilizations beyond Earth, all of whom are so grateful for the opportunity to love and support you and the entire human population on this journey. This infrastructure is now being placed in your heart chakra, connecting you to Sirius, the Pleiades, Arcturus, Antares, the Lyran system, and the Andromedan system. You may begin to see these beings. They showed up in my solo meditation as I was preparing for this group meditation. As you travel these causeways, see these incredible, beautiful beings that greet you. For some of you, this is a homecoming. For others, this is the beginning of beautiful collaboration. And do you see, you do not have to search for it outside of yourselves. It is right here. Take a moment to accept whatever gifts or transmissions you are receiving. Perhaps it is only from one of these groups, perhaps it is from all of them. I'll give you all just a moment, a couple minutes here to go on your own journey of connection. And remember, you are receiving. This is your time to receive. Begin to wrap up your journey now, your connection. Again, coming back to a focus on the heart chakra. And your deep, gentle breathing in and out through the nose. Ever so gently bring your awareness back into the room in which you find yourselves. Place both hands over the heart. Just take a moment of gratitude. And notice what kind of a different frequency you're in now from when we started. A very, very high vibrational field is what we've moved into. And go ahead, and if you would like to share, again, whether you're participating right now or in the future, what you just experienced, I can tell you that the incredible unconditional love and that field that I am in right now has moved me completely out of polarity, that there's anything quote unquote wrong with the world, into an absolute state of unconditional love and acceptance for the all that is. And you see, when you have moved into this state, so much can work through you compared to being in a polarized, contracted state. It is what we would consider the incredible bandwidth, multidimensional bandwidth of connection, communication, and transmission. The exceptional gratitude I felt from Gaia, she is acknowledging each of you as an individual for the work you have done here today on behalf of yourselves and for the population, but also for her as a planetary consciousness. You have just lightened the load for her as well. What does this translate into? I'm being told right now this means fewer earthquakes, fewer hurricanes, fewer tumultuous events designed to shake people up and out of their polarity. For collective tragedy, brings people together, does it not? So thank you so much for your service here today, especially in service to yourself, because that is what so many of us who are gathering here in this form need the most, is coming back out of polarity of putting others before ourselves, the wounded healer, back into the power of neutrality, standing in our own power. Not out of balance either to self or to others, but this perfect harmony, realizing that there really is only the one. So Betsy, thank you for sharing that you started the meditation with a heartburn-like pain in your solar plexus. It eased. So I'm going to talk about that because when we were doing forgiveness, I felt a lot of energy in that area. So this is what was presenting itself to clean up for everyone, is that sticky, resonant energy, right? This, what gives us heartburn, what gives us indigestion, right? And so that's wonderful to hear that that eased for you. And then receiving gifts at the end, beautiful, and a beautiful purple stone, wonderful. So I'm really impressed with the technology we were given today. So have fun with this. This is really powerful. What just got planted in this hand, you can probably begin to feel that coming through my hand into your fields, right? Have fun with this. And I think I'll end on that note to just say, this is really getting fun. I think for years I've been focused on helping people get out of what I affectionately call the tar pit of stickiness, density, distortion, removing implants, removing entities. And now we are being tapped and tasked with being super creative and planting benevolent, incredible, divine technology into our fields and others. So you are limitless. Do not forget this. Oh, and Diana, thank you for sharing that you felt, okay, a light breeze began. Beautiful. Yes, thank you. And you're welcome. Yes, thank you, Betsy. Thank you so much for being here. It's lovely to be here with you all. let us know how it goes as you work on this, as you send this beautiful template of coming back into integration. I would say this is perfect. We don't have any family holidays coming up, but maybe that in-law or that particular family member that is really stuck in polarity, a victim state especially, send them some love and see what happens, and then let us know how it goes. Thank you so much all for being here. Thank you for your service, and thank you for being you and being on the planet. And I will see you all next week. Next week, I will be in Paris again. I plan to do the live in the evening from Paris. All right. Love to you all.